It's Mitch, your favorite YouTube audio guy, and today we'll be going over a little monosynthesizer that I actually built in a cool program called Max MSP. We'll start by discussing a little bit about Max MSP and then show you how I've applied this into a Max for Live device. Let's get into it. Max, also known as Max MSP Jitter, is a visual programming language for music and multimedia developed and maintained by a San Francisco-based company called Cycling 74. Over its more than 30-year history, it has been used by composers, performers, software designers, researchers, and artists to create recordings, performances, and installations. And honestly, I just have a lot of fun messing around in Max, even though I'm learning to use it for school applications. It's just a fantastic tool, and the best part about it is that they even offer a 30-day free trial, so you can try it out for yourself and make your own decisions. Alright guys, I am really excited to show you this little mono synthesizer that I built in Max MSP, which is I've built it into an instrument in Max for Live. And alrighty, let's take a look at it. So coming in, we can first see on the left side here, we have ADSR, which stands for Attack, Decay, Sustain, Release, which is the envelope of the note that you're playing. So when you activate a note, that's how long, attack is how long it'll take to ramp up. Decay is how long it'll stay there. Same thing with sustain, and then release is that trail off the end. So the longer that is, the longer the note will be. Same thing with all of these. I actually kept the parameters for this relatively short because I enjoy, with a mono synthesizer, having shorter notes. So that's something I enjoy. And you can see moving over here just to the right of that is a table where you can either draw your own harmonic partials in, which are going to be the overtones of the note that you're playing, or I have a couple presets that I've made that you could click on. And if not, yeah, just feel free to click in here and do whatever you want with that. Yeah, I'm just going to click on preset 2 because I like that one. And then right here we have a harmonic sequence from a wavetable that I had found. And it makes it very simple, so if you like the sound of a square wave, you can have just that mixed in with whatever you have over here. So if I reset that and have this one off, then you'll have just that square wave. Same thing with a saw wave, a triangle, and then this impulse one is just all the way up on all the harmonic partials. So I think it's best practice, especially with the way I've designed this monosynth, to use them together, because that's really how this is designed as we move forward in here. You can see this is where things start to get a little more complicated, and this is the part that also gets really fun. Of course, it's really simple because I'm really simple and I only know so much about Max MSP. I'm just a beginner like I know many of you are. So let's take a look at what we have going on right here. It's a speed knob. The speed actually controls this LFO. And this LFO controls a crossfade that fades between this table and this table. So if we turn this on, you start to see that go back and forth like this. And so when we start playing a note, so you have the speed of that going back and forth between those two tables. What's really nice is, since this is an Ableton knob, since Max is fully integrated into Ableton, you can automate this later. Like if you wanted this to be faster or slower, or you could, of course, map this to a MIDI controller and just turn that dial as you go. Pan is pretty self-explanatory. It's whether something comes out your left ear or your right ear. So let me just throw that all the way over for you. Yeah, so you get the point. I'm going to stop the LFO that fades between them so we can explain the next part, which is really just an EQ section. It's really just a filter section that allows you to... for a lot of these, I really like them actually low passed, so rolling off a lot of the higher frequencies. I feel like that gives us a nice sort of round sound, which is what I normally look for in a typical mono synthesizer. But I mean, there's just infinite possibilities within here, and I've included a band pass, a band stop, and a notch filter, so that you can come in here, you can change where that frequency cutoff is, how deep the Q is, and then the gain knob to try and boost those frequencies, maybe cut some of those frequencies depending on how you want to go about this. So other than that, it's pretty simple mono synthesizer. You know, I tried to design it to be as user-friendly as possible. You know, I even had my girlfriend sit down and start turning knobs, and she was immediately able to do all this. So I feel confident in my little bit of max programming knowledge. So here's the scary part. Let's take a look under the hood. And here we are, taking a look at what goes on in the dirty underbelly of what's happening inside a programming language. I do appreciate that Max is a very simple and forgiving programming language, because there are much worse, and I'm sure many of you know that. Yeah, so here's just our simple user interface. This is what you saw inside of Ableton, and then delving deeper, coming out of this presentation mode, we can start to see how this patcher is set up. Yes, I know, don't make fun of me. I know it's not the most organized in the world, but like, I understand it. I feel like I'm connecting dots on the wall, you know? So it's one of those situations. So we're bringing MIDI in. Over here, you can see we're sending out this table, and this table is referenced. And you can see right here is the patcher for it. Same thing with this one, has another table built in. Right here is our EQ section. And here's very simply this ASDR, and then our panning. So all in all, a pretty simply built mono synthesizer. We back out and we have our section again. All right. Well, here we are back in Ableton. I am going to play for you guys a little composition I made using this little mono synthesizer. Thank you guys so much for watching. It means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave it a like down below right here. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.